Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of my new show. I'm going to start with something I really do enjoy. Rocky Horror Picture Show, released in 1975, starring Tim Curry. Oh, not that bold. Here, take this. What is this? That is your first review.
2 hours later.
I should have just watched Rocky Horror. Phantom of the Paradise is a 1974 rock and roll horror musical, written and directed by Brian De Palma. Same guy who directed Scarface and Carrie? What's he doing directing a musical? I swear, he just sits on one side of the door when I make these reviews. Anyways, the film was good, the acting was great, and the music was really good. I actually liked the music so much I bought the soundtrack. The film borrows a lot from Phantom of the Opera, Picture of Dorian Gray, and Faust, with Brian De Palma, the director, being a really big fan of the works of Alfred Hitchcock, naming many characters after birds and having a really big glaring Psycho reference halfway through the film. The film is very similar to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Rocky Horror Picture Show actually coming out a year after. There's many similarities. For example, scored by Paul Williams, the first song on the soundtrack, Goodbye Eddie Goodbye, is a good way to start off the film and adds a nice touch of 50s rock element. The soundtrack with every song is a bit different, but Paul Williams did write it so that it's mainly just one song mix-mashed and changed over the course of the film. But certain songs like this one and one by a later band and one by a different one, all played by the same band for some reason, will come in and change the genre a bit. The third one, being played by the one band, sounds a lot like something that you would find in Rocky Horror Picture Show. The film itself uses the music to really complement it and bring it all together. Speaking of which, let's get on with. The film starts with an uncredited introduction from Rob Sterling. The Twilight guy? Get out. I like this introduction because it shows you how to watch the film. Starting off with a weird guy like Rob Sterling, who's known for The Twilight Show, is a great way to start off the film because it tells you to watch the movie as if it's weird, such as The Twilight Show. Anyways, what are you still doing there? See, I told you there was something you enjoy about this movie. You haunt me more than I haunt you. If you're gonna stay, at least help me with the review. I'm so tired of all these interruptions. Why do I even have you stay around? Because this is my house. Good point. Anyways, back to the film. The film continues, starting with our main character, Winslow Leach, played by William Finley, heard by record producer Swan, played by Paul Williams. Swan believes Winslow's music is perfect to open his new rock place called the Paradise. Far from it. I know, right? Anyways, Swan has his right-hand man, Arnold Fliven, played by George Mamoli, steal it under the guise of producing Winslow's music. Later, Winslow shows up to Swan's place to figure things out. There, he meets a girl named Phoenix, played by Jessica Harper. I know her. She's from Suspiria. Yeah, she would go on from this film to have a successful career in other films like Suspiria. And, surprisingly, she shows up as the character Janet in the Rocky Horror Picture Show sequel, Shock Treatment. Are you gonna keep finding a way to turn this review back to that movie? Yes. Anyways, he believes she has a beautiful voice, much better than what she's trying to actually use it for. So he goes and meets Swan, who then throws him out and then plants drugs on him. Yeah, he doesn't do well, and the court and gets life in jail. A life sentence is a lot for what he had on him. One mental breakdown and an experimental teeth procedure later. What? I don't know. He escapes prison in a box and then goes on to Death Records, Swan's record company, to destroy a bunch of record press machines and just cause vandalism. There, he stumbles onto a guard who startles him, causing him to fall into the machine and have his face permanently deformed. Fun fact, when they were recording this scene and the press goes down, it actually malfunctioned and the actor who played Winslow almost got crushed for real. Anyways, he then sneaks into the Paradise, the rock palace from earlier, and decides to put on a costume and become the Phantom to finally take his revenge. Why does he look like a bird? That's a running theme in the film, with either characters being named after or looking like birds. I don't get it, but it's from The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock, like Brian De Palma. I just don't know. The Phantom then plants a bomb made to kill the current band playing, which was the band from earlier, but they're now playing a surfer rock rendition of the song Winslow was playing in an earlier scene. The Phantom then confronts Swan to finally take his revenge. But Swan decides to spice up the offer and have Winslow make his music his way. Swan then gives Winslow an artificial voice box that allows him to sing and write music for Phoenix to later sing. He then has Winslow sign a contract in blood. Gross. Will you please leave me alone? Anyways, Winslow finishes his project with the help of a lot of drugs for Phoenix to play. Swan then breaks the contract and hires a blonde dummy by the name of Beef, played by Garrett Graham, to perform his songs. Swan then bricks Winslow in so he cannot do anything about it. But he manages to escape. How did a stick of a man like that break through a wall like Kool-Aid Man? Anger and drugs, I guess. Like, if you're determined, you're gonna do whatever you can to go murder a blonde guy. Like, who doesn't? Anyways, he then kills Beef with a stage prop in a kill that I find really creative with the editing and the sound design and everything else in it. I also find it really funny. For some reason, I just can't manage to figure it out. Is it because of the weird scream in one of the band members fainting? Yes. Anyways, Phoenix then rushes out to finish the show because Beef is, well, let's just say cooked. She finishes the show and everyone loves it. It's a big success and everything's going great. But then Swan has Phoenix sign a contract as well, in more blood. Gross. I don't know, blood is blood. Anyways, Winslow seeing this is so heartbroken that he tries to stab himself to death. Simp. Well, this video is now dated. Thanks. No problem. But plot twist, he can't die, so he tries to kill Swan, which doesn't work either because Swan is also under contract. Turns out, a long time ago, during like the 60s, he signed a pact with the devil that gave him eternal life. The situation where he signs the pact with the devil is in a very picture of Dorian Gray situation, where he has to watch the same video over and over again every day just to retain his youth while the video ages in his place. With Phoenix being popular, Swan decides to have her killed, but live on TV, so everyone can see and Swan could get more popular instead of Phoenix. So, what happens next is Swan sets up a fake wedding to go apart with the show. And then, while they're there, he has his right-hand man be the priest. Hitman, who is stopped by Winslow, misfires and hits the priest. Oh, well, he's dead. But before that, Winslow decided to go and burn the tapes, which gives Swan eternal life. Then, what happens next is Winslow knife hole opens back up, Swan dies, he dies, Phoenix is left, and the party keeps rocking on. The theme of the film itself is actually on the music industry as a whole, with the artist, the producer, and the presenter. The artist being Winslow, who wants to have complete control over his art, whether or not be financially profitable. With Swan, on the other hand, being the producer. He puts money into it, but expects to change it however he wants, so that it could be more profitable. Then you have Phoenix, the outlet for the art, who doesn't really have a say on whether or not things happen. All she knows is that she likes money. Who doesn't like money? But also wants to stay true to the art form itself. And it has a literal death of the artist. Which, haha, wordplay. Anyways, so when something is released into the world, someone could say something, could change your opinion on it. But during that time, when you watch it, you form an opinion of the film yourself, or the art form. So, death of the artist there, Winslow dying, and how the film ends itself with the party keep going on, is sort of that message. Sounds like you had a lot to say about the film. It's okay, I would have rather watched Rocky Horror. It's true that they're kind of similar, but one sticks to its own genre a lot more than the other one does. You have a point, but I do feel like the film is sort of a stepping stone to get where Rocky Horror Picture Show is. For example, this film's great. It has really good subject matter, it has very good ideas, but Rocky Horror Picture Show is just a better alternative overall. So, that's episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to make many more. A lot of friends, family, and a whole bunch of other people have helped out with this project tremendously. And I do want to continue it. So please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to be notified whenever I make a new video, whenever that is. Hopefully, I can have one out every week or so. So, just leave suggestions on the film you want to see in the comments below. And I'll try to get back to you. Okay, thanks. Goodbye.